Just wait.
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
See some.
Quiet here. I like it.
All
right. That's the. Alright. First things first. There's a mod pack. Well, yeah, there's a mod pack you need to install. I think the mod pack that is linked has the helicopter mod in there. You don't need that, but you'll need both the other mods. They are multiple gigabytes. If you do not have them downloaded right now, you need to do that immediately. There will come a point pretty soon after we start and we start getting filtered in the server, and after I start teaching, that if you are not in the server at that time, it will have to be another basic. If your mod is still downloading, and if it takes a long time to download, then and you're not in the server at the right time, you'll have to come at a different time. Just, you know, so we're not waiting for 1 or 2, 3. So does anyone have any confusion about where the mod is, how to download it? Any confusion about the mod? The mod is always like the big trouble.
Is it just a subscription through Steam?
Yeah, it's just a Steam subscription. The link is in the announcement. Is anyone having issues getting to that? Cool. Yeah, it's just a Steam, like it's a mod pack list. Just subscribe to all, or subscribe to it, you know, but manually click. What is it? Let me actually. No, yeah, it's actually 100% good. So the helicopter mod was taken out of that. So just make sure you guys have both of those subscribed to. Once, depending on your Steam settings might have it so you don't start downloading mods until you start the game it's associated with. So once you subscribe to those, I recommend starting up Squad and then quitting out of Squad. All you got to do is start up Squad and then quit it. Just because that might, you know, depending on your weird settings, it might just start the download. It might just like so.
Is there anything we need to do in game to activate them or anything like that?
No. Squad's based off. It's based on the map. They're always active once you're subscribed to it, but you can still play public servers or any server. They're only activated once the map layer has them activated.
And it's the ops mats and squad ops.
Yep, that's exactly it. Ops maps and squad ops.
Copy.
You guys don't have to do anything special in the game to activate them. You guys will need to do one thing in the game, which is set your settings, your graphic settings to tournament. That's also in the announcement. That it's not a tournament mode on and off. It's just our tournament settings have it so we don't want people with super low graphics that have half the terrain disappear, and they're able to see people that they probably shouldn't be able to see. So we have effects, medium or higher, foliage, medium or higher, shadows are medium or higher, and view distance is, I think it's high and epic now. So that's totally fine. As long as you have that squared away, you'll be able to get into the server.
Oh, okay, the
view distance
notification said view distance at high only.
Yeah, that's an old. Yeah, I need to.
Okay, so we can put it back to epic if we want.
You can put it back to epic. If you have any issues, let me know. But I am 99.99% sure epic is completely fine. All right. Any other questions before we get this rolling? I know a lot of you guys might not have your Discord link, which means that you might also not have been able to sign up on the website. That's okay.
I was able to sign up on the website fine, but linking Discord didn't work for me.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Well, you weren't able to register for the basic.
Exactly.
Bad word. You weren't able to register for the basic. That's fine. I think we have enough room. Don't worry about that until after the set. Okay.
Hey, Groove, just to share with everyone, the reason that doesn't work, I struggled with it too, is that you have to go into your Chrome or whatever browser you're using. You have to log into Discord on their website in order for it.
On Discord's website?
Yeah, you have to go through the browser.
It's an issue on our end. We need to get our web dev to get in there and then start tinkering with it. But at the moment, it's not working. I don't want to. Yeah, that might be a workaround, but that sounds like a giant.
Yeah,
that's what I had to do when I didn't.
Honestly,
I tried that too.
We're gonna get it sorted out eventually, but right now it's manually linked. But don't worry about that. It's not a problem right now. So does anyone have any questions?
So if I'm on the wait list, just wait here.
Yep. If you're not on the wait list, also wait here.
I think everyone's gonna be able to make it.
Yep. It should be fine. Any further questions? I'm about to get this rolling and start dragging you guys down to the live, and then we'll start to get it rolling. Any further questions, guys? By the way, our admin is Bump. I'll go ahead and repeat that, but if you have any further technical issues while I'm instructing, go ahead and message Ops Bump in Discord. BUMP. I'll try and sort you out. Any further questions before I start I run the bot command to try to drag you guys down? I'll have to drag you guys down manually, probably. It's alright. No questions that dumb. I'm not gonna hit you. Okay, cool. Let me see if this bot command works. Alright, welcome to the live channel. You have all made it, like I said. Give me one moment. I'll give you guys a little quick intro. We'll start filtering into the server, and I'll give you more intro. Alright. So if I haven't said already, my name's Sinful Gru. I'll be your instructor for today. You know, welcome to Basic. So you made it in live op. You're not in the game yet. Don't worry. I'll tell you what's up. So once you're actually into the server, do not fire your weapon unless instructed to. Okay. Once you get into the server, what you're going to do is you're going to join U.S. team, the United States team. You're going to join the first available squad that says SOTT Basic. You're going to go ahead and spawn in and get your shovel out and go to your squad lead. Okay. Do you have any question? Sorry, did someone say something? Okay. If you have any question at any point in the instruction, go ahead and type Q or question, which is I think by default, what is it? J? J.
Yeah, that's right.
Please be patient. We know some of you guys might have a lot of hours in squad. Some of you guys might not have a lot of hours in squad, but we need to have everyone on the same page in operations so we can actually get things. Okay. So you might learn things that you've already learned. It's okay. You don't have to be, you know, the guy that says I already know that. It's all right. We're all going through it. Last thing, this is your one and final warning. Anything that violates our policies or rules will result in you being removed from the basic and potentially banned from squad ops, guys. This is a non-pass or fail course at the moment. I do not want you guys to be kicked out or removed or banned from the platform entirely because you're just acting goofy and not taking it right. This is just kind of a small learning experience before you get into real. Not a big deal. So just kind of keep it on the level. Brief overview of what the course consists of. I'm going to go over structure in our operations, communication expectations, basic infantry concepts, movement, and we're going to do a platoon drill at the end and kind of mesh everything we learned together into a giant chaotic mess. Does anyone have any further questions before we start getting into this? Yeah, I'll get into that. Just before we learn how to get into the server, does anyone have any random any confusion? Okay, everyone needs to go ahead and start up squad, right? If you already have squad started, I want you to go ahead and go to your custom server tab. In that tab, there should be a server that eventually pops up that says squadops.gg events. Okay, you're going to click on that, and the password for tonight is basic. BASIC. Bravo, Alpha, Sierra, Indigo, Charlie.
Case sensitive or no?
Case sensitive? No, it's not. It can be all lowercase. It can be mixed. It's totally not case sensitive.
I'm in a queue.
So am I.
That's fine. If you guys are in a queue, a lot of the time it will happen where a lot of people try to join all at the same time. Go ahead and just wait a couple of seconds and then just exit out of the queue. Try again. Password is BASIC.
Yep, password worked fine for me.
Okay.
What kit do we grab?
Go ahead and grab the rifleman kit. Rifleman kit. Everyone grab rifleman kit. US side. Join the first available squad. And spawn in. Go to your squad leader with your shovel out. Shovel, shovel, shovel.
Any limitation as to the variant of the rifleman?
Make sure it's got a red dot. No zoom.
Copy.
Just like our operation. We're gonna give everyone a second to start filtering into the server. I might have told you this while you were in live op, but I told you in pre-op or pre-set.
Yeah, don't stand on this.
The admin for tonight is Bump. B-U-M.
Sandbags.
So if you have any technical issues, and I am teaching the course, and you don't want to interrupt, which hopefully you shouldn't, go ahead and DM direct message Bump on Discord, and he will try and sort you. But eventually, there's going to be a hard stop to this this instruction, where if you are not in the server at that time, you will have to take another base, because we do practical application.
Guys, to the rifleman kit, get your spade out and walk over to me. Full squad, good stuff. Okay, grab the rifleman kit. Get your spade, spawn in, get your spade out, come to me.
It's gonna give us some more time. Remember, join US side, join the first available squad, spawn in as a rifleman, go to your squad leader with your shovel. Is anyone right now? Give me 1 sec, guys.
Anyone got any comms? Oh, hello.
Hello.
If anyone is having issues getting into the server or downloading the mod, let me know right now. So Bump will also. Anyone having some issues? Go ahead, speak out. It's fine.
My audio's not working. I'm gonna have to restart my game.
That's fine.
I'm good on comms.
Oh yes, very important. Make sure you either have your Discord set to push to talk or push to mute, right? I don't want anyone to be hot miking throughout this session. I also don't want you guys to have your Discord key binding set to the same key binding you have in squad. So if you're going to talk to your squad leader, you also don't need to talk to the entire Discord channel. You can remedy this by just muting yourself in Discord. Do not deafen yourself, but mute your own mic in Discord so we're not hearing you speak when you're only trying to talk to squad lead. I will ask some questions to random people throughout Discord, and you'll have to reply in Discord sometime. But
do you want us to spawn at main base Charlie 2?
Yes, spawn at the northernmost spawn, not at the airport. Northernmost spawn point.
Wait, what?
Which is indeed Charlie 2.
I had to restart my squad. It kind of froze when I was loading in.
That's fine. If you guys have any further issues with restarts and any of that, mess, if it's not a giant issue, just there's no need to bring it up. If it's a further issue, go ahead and direct message Bump. I'm gonna give a few more seconds of us filtering into the server with, and then we're kind of gonna get rolling here. Like I said, if you guys have any further issues with getting into the server or mods or downloading or weird stuff, go ahead and direct message Bump. He's our admin for tonight. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start the instructions. If you're not in, do not worry about it. Filter in while I'm talking. Bump, did you say something?
Never mind, it was meant to do it again.
Okay. Alright. So, you guys are in your squads. So, the first section is structure, right? This whole basic is the intended meaning for this basic is to get you guys ready for operations, right? And the structure in our operations is not like a public server. So in our operations, we have slightly different. We have another element. He's the commander of the entire team. Your entire team, the entire U.S. team, or the entire Russian team or INS team is called a platoon of 40, right? So your entire team is called a platoon, right? And the commander of this platoon is called the commander. Right? He instructs everyone on that entire. After the commander, who's all the way at the top, we have squad leaders. I'm sure you're familiar with squad leaders. You should have one right now. Your squad leader is in control of all your squad, all the 8 guys under him. A squad is 9 guys, 8 guys other than the squad leader. In that squad, you also have small mini leadership, team leadership. They are called fire team leaders. Generally, a squad has 2 fire team leaders. Each of those fire team leaders is in charge of 3 people under them. So a squad of 8 guys in a 9-man squad other than the squad leader. So those 8 guys, 2 guys are assigned fire team lead, right? They are the fire team leadership. And each of those guys is in charge of 3 people, right? So I'm going to go ahead and ask your squad leads to go ahead and ask for fire team leadership and filter you guys into 2 different fire teams, so you guys can get like a visual understanding of how fire teams.
Alright, who wants to be the boss?
I could be.
No one else wants to do it, I'll do it.
There we go, Markston and King Jen. Well done for volunteering.
Squad lead, I got a problem.
Shoot!
I got removed from the Discord because it crashed from the SOTT.
Copy that. What's your name in Discord?
It's Brad.
Copy that.
Hey, could I reconnect real quick? I'm having a problem. I just need to.
Yeah, no worries. DM.
Thanks.
Bump Loaf bread, and yeah, you can reconnect.
Yeah, I DM'd him on the CPC.
Sorry, who was the volunteer?
Markston.
There we go.
Me.
All right. So your squad leaders have told me they have filtered you guys into 2 separate fire teams. So within these fire teams, sometimes it's kind of broken down even further. And the fire team, which consists of 4 guys, or if you're short, it might have 2 guys or even 3 guys, but it might be broken down even further into buddy teams. So if you have a full fire team with 4 guys, generally that is considered full in an operation. Then sometimes it's broken down into buddy teams, so it's broken down another set. So you got a buddy team consisting of 1 guy and another guy, and then another 2 guys, so 2 and 2. Buddy teams are useful for inner fire team. Maybe even you want to break up the orders in a small fire team. Maybe you want to send 1 buddy team to do one thing and another buddy team to do another thing. But the order of a platoon is the entire platoon, and then you have your squad, your fire team, and buddy team. The command order, the chain of command in an operation, is commander. So the commander is in charge of the entire team. Like I said, their entire job is to position, orientate squads through command comms, through talking with SLs, and achieve whatever that operations objective is. Right? They are the king and the castle of your entire team. They own you. The SLs are the king and the castle of their specific squad. So the SL is your leader, but everyone's king is the commander. So listen to the SL unless the commander overrides him, in which case the SL will also just tell you we're doing that. And then you got the FTL, right? You'll be in a fire team. You got your FTL. Your SL supersedes the FTL. Your FTL can't be telling you to do goofy stuff that the SL doesn't agree with. Hopefully they're not. We're trying to get everyone on the same page here. Hopefully everyone is one mind. We're trying to be Zerg. Then you got the riflemen. Sometimes you are referred to as the expendables. This is not a term of. This is more of a term of endearment, but you are tactically expendable. You are under the FTLs. You are the FTLs. You're the SLs. You're everyone in that squad. Everyone in the platoon is a rifleman first, including the commander. So, does anyone have any questions on the order of command in an operation? Okay. Giant question people have in operations. What happens when my squad leader dies? Well, first thing that happens when a squad leader dies is the squad leader comms, which is the squad leader role, is then passed to FTL 1. Sometimes it's passed to the squad leader. Will probably make it known who gets priority FTL, but the squad leader is passed to the first FTL the squad leader designates, basically, and he becomes that squad leader. FTL 1, if the original squad lead dies, becomes the squad leader, right? If that FTL dies, which stands for fire team lead, if you were lost, then it goes to fire team lead 2 if he's still alive. If both fire team leaders and the squad leader are dead, this is important. You guys have no command comms. You will have no one getting past the squad leader role, which means that you have no command comms with the other squads, which means that you either need to you need to get in contact with the other squads in some way or form. This generally means that you either all need to go and find another squad on the map and manually, locally talk to them and get back into the fold, or you need to send a buddy team as runners, right? Kind of as messenger pigeons to go to find the nearest squad, to find the nearest person with command comms, and then run back. It depends on your mission. This is all Sometimes it will be dictated that you guys could be on a suicide mission, or your squad lead maybe say that, hey, this is what we're doing. We are going to hold this bridge, you know, quote unquote. This is just a scenario, but we're going to hold this bridge. Command has come down on high that we're going to hold this bridge, and this is our duty. We're going to do this until we die, basically. This is our sole solemn duty. If you have an order like that from your SL, and the SL dies and all the FTLs die, and you don't have command comms, well, you've already gotten your order, right? You're holding that bridge. This is all situational. But if it's a moving, rotation, you guys don't know what you're doing. You guys need to get in contact with someone who. So to reiterate, if your SL goes down, if your squad leader goes down, it's passed to the FTL. It's passed to the FTL number 1. If that FTL goes down, the squad leader is passed to the FTL number 2. If that FTL goes down, if all 3 go down, you guys have no leadership. You need to get into communication with someone who does, so you guys can be morphed into another squad. Okay. Any questions on that? Any at all? No questions that dumb. Go ahead and talk over Discord if you do have a question, because I can't hear you in your local chat or Squadcom chat.
Wouldn't it be easier if
Is Bushi talking?
Yeah,
make sure if you got a question, talk over Discord.
Oh, wouldn't it be easier if the squad leader dies to just give the squad leader to someone else, and they could communicate with the other squad leaders?
Oh, you mean a non-FTL?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, it would be easier if we could give the squad leader kit to anyone else, but that's just the way we do it is it's either the squad lead, it's the FTLs, or it's no. This is meant to create kind of a switch, right? So it's not meant to be like a public game or like some easy stuff. This is kind of meant to be tactical and not super easy. Not everyone gets an SL kit or gets passed down the role if the squad.
Okay.
So while yes, it would be easy for communication, it's not all about winning. It's about creating a fun environment of kind of tactical play. And when all your guys go down, it creates kind of an oh shit situation. You might have to get absorbed into another squad.
And what are the abbreviations again, or the lettering?
All right. So the only reason I kind of shorten these things, and you'll hear them shortened often. If you have any questions on any kind of shortened words or acronyms, always speak up and ask. But you'll hear SL a lot. That stands for squad leader. FTL stands for fire team leader. Those are generally buddy team, and then you'll hear a lot of acronyms and shortenings. But if you have any questions, please ask. Please speak up if you're confused. Because a lot of these guys have been hearing it so often that it's just kind of their normal. It's their normal encyclopedia.
So it goes SL, FTL, and then the buddy team.
Yeah, don't worry about the shortening of words. But yes, it goes squad leader is the big guy of your squad. It goes platoon leader, platoon commander, squad leader, FTL. That is the order of our operations. Any further questions on that?
So by absorbed into another squad, do you just mean taking command?
I mean, if all of your leadership dies, then you'll need to find a squad leader who still has command, basically, and that squad leader will basically just take you under his wing, and you'll do what he says.
Oh, so you can join another squad?
No, you won't be manually joining their squad, but you will be absorbed into their squad through local.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Any further questions on that? Okay, cool. Next section is communication. Before this course has become a problem apparently in recent operations. I need to get this out there before I forget it. We communicate through voice only in game. So in operations, we do not communicate over Discord. We do not communicate over text channel. We do not talk in text whatsoever. It is local communication, which goes out to a range of about 50 meters around you, in a 50-meter radius around you, more or less. And we have squad communication, which is a map-wide communication tool. I totally forgot what their normal key bindings are, but hopefully you know them. So you got local, squad, and you have command comp communication if you are a squad lead or an FTL who gets past that role. But you do not talk or communicate over all chat, team chat, or squad chat.
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
V is local and B is squad.
V is local and B is squad. Okay, those are the base key bindings for those. You can mess around with. I know a lot of us have. I definitely have. But we only talk over in-game voice. Okay, so please, no one go into operations and start talking in all chat, or team chat, or squad chat during the game. Okay. So like I said, we got local and squad comms. So this is also gigantically important. In operations, unlike in public games, people are much more top, which means that your squad leader not only has to listen to local communications, he has to listen to squad communications, and he has to listen to command communications. So your squad leader has 3 different lines of communications in his ear at the same time, and sometimes that makes it incredibly difficult to parse what the hell is going on. So this is gigantically important. If you do not have anything critical to say to your leader or your FTL, you need to say it over local instead. Do not clog up squad comms. Okay, that is the green communications if you need a color coding. Do not clog up that net, because it's incredibly paramount that your squad leader has as little distraction as possible so he can like filter information out, you know, relatively simply. If you're over there talking over squad comms about the burger you ate last night, it's going to piss off your squad leader. He's probably, if he's smart, he's going to tell you to shut up, and you're going to be embarrassed. So if you have anything, you know, not relevant to the entire squad to say it over local comms, please. Local comms is great. You can talk to anyone around you for more or less 50 meters in a radius. If you need to talk to your squad leader further than that, then you need to key up squad comms. It's not a bad thing to talk over squad net. But it's a bad thing to clog squad net with useless comms. If you have, you know, nothing critical to say, do not use squad comm. Contact reports. This is what happens when you see an enemy on the field. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an explanation of that in a sec. You always need to call contact reports. That is absolutely paramount. If you see an enemy or something that looks like an enemy, you need to tell your squad lead and squad chat. Do not call that out. Well, you need to call it out. If you got guys who are not in your squad around you, call it out in local. If you have someone who dies in your squad, maybe a lat or a medic dies, you need to tell your squad leader, right? These are examples that you need to key up squad comms, and your squad leader needs to know. Okay. So another thing with communication, this is big. We kind of do ABC, and this is kind of, you know, normal military stuff. We call it the ABCs, but accuracy, brevity, and clarity, right? So that basically means you want everything you say to be accurate, first of all, right? You don't want to be calling stuff that's not accurate, basically. So to give an example, you do not want to be calling a BTR if it's a bush, and a BTR is an armor personnel carrier on the Russian side. If you guys did not know that, you guys do not want to be calling tanks out if it's not a tank at all. It's a bush, and your squad leader will be very confused, and that would be passed down to command, and command will be very confused. Yeah, you just that's not good. So before you pass any communication over any net, make sure it is actually accurate. Okay. They'll be passing random stuff that's you know, that you don't know. If you have something that you might think is you know, an enemy or something like that, but you're not quite sure, pass that over net. But let them know that you're not quite sure. Brevity.
Question.
What's up?
What's the protocol for calling out unidentified? So if I don't recognize it as BTR, but I know it's enemy vehicle.
Just an enemy Vic. Just enemy vehicle.
Got it.
Like I was saying, so accuracy, brevity, clarity. You have brevity, right? You do not want to clog up squad net with useless chatter. So be brief, right? You do not, if you have a contact report, if you're trying to call out an enemy vehicle, you do not want to go over squad ad and be like, hey, squad leader, yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I see some over over in front of me. It's you know, kind of looks like you don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. I'm about to give you guys an example of a good contact report in a second, but do not clog up SquadNet with useless chatter. If you had something useful to say it accurately, say it briefly, and say it clearly. Right? You want to talk clearly. You also don't want to sit there and give out a very useful contact report and be like, "Hey, squad leader, I see this thing." That's useless. He's not going to be able to get any information about that. Okay? So if you got anything to say it clearly. Say it so people can hear it. Enunciate if you have problems with stuttering or a voice that doesn't carry. So accurate, brief, and clear. So an example of a contact report, if I were to see an enemy, what I would say is, over SquadNet, let's say I see one guy. I'd say contact 120. Actually, let's just say, I say contact 120 southeast, 50 meters, multiple infantry in the window, or, you know, just, you know, you can be descriptive. You're not clogging over SquadNet with useless stuff. This is useful information. So don't feel like you need to be absolutely the briefest you can with the useful information.
Do you say contact contact is?
Well, it's a good starter, so you can clear the air from useless shit, and the squad lead can immediately pick up. Whoa, I need to listen to this because it's very useful. It's a contact, so now, it's good to start. It's good to start with contact.
And what if you receiving fire and have no idea where it's coming from, but you know?
Hopefully you'll have some idea where it's coming from, but I would hope that you would get into cover and then call that a contact report when you are able to understand where that general fire is. So you would say, you know, contact north, you know, 360, 100 meters out, BT, something like that. The first, I didn't tell you guys this yet, which I'm getting to. So the first thing about contact report is kind of an order of operations, kind of like math. All right. So you're going to want to kind of say one thing first before the other. So we kind of have 3 Ds associated with this. 3 Ds. So 3 Ds to contact reports are direction, distance, and description. First thing you're going to want to do is call the direction out, because that's the most important, right? It gets your squad and your squad leader oriented immediately to that contact. The next thing you're going to do is call out distance. This is also incredibly important because it totally matters if a contact is 50 meters away or 500, right? If you have an enemy rifleman you're calling out and he's 20 meters away from you, it's going to be more important than an enemy rifleman who's 700 meters away from you. Okay, so direction, then distance, and then description is last, right? You're going to want to be calling out what it actually is that they use, right? It could be a couple of enemy riflemen, it could be some, you know, a possible enemy vehicle, maybe an entire enemy platoon, like their entire team. This is also super important. The reason we have this order of operations, like kind of a math equation, is what would happen if you were to die while giving out this contact report. So let's have an example. So let me give an example of me calling out a wrong contact report or in wrong order of operations, and then me getting shot in the head. So if I get over SquadNet and I say BTR and then I get shot in the head, what's my team gonna do? Well, they're gonna be really fucking confused. They're gonna go, BTR where? How far away? Oh my god, what is going on? In contrast to that, if I were to get over SquadNet and say north and then I immediately die, at least my squad is able to orient north because I just saw something north and then I got shot in the head, sadly. But at least they're able to look in that general direction and be like, all right, we need to pay attention to that. Maybe we can see something. And then you know, another guy can say, oh, I see something north. Distance is next because you need to tell your squad leaders, you know, your whole squad, hey, how far is this away? How relevant is it to me? And then, you know, description last because it's really the last thing they need. Any questions on that?
Yeah, do you prefer the compass direction or do you want map grids?
Oh,
because it's relative to.
this is super useful. All right, so if you're going to go map grids, go ahead and just give it over SquadNet. If squad leadership calls you for map grids, the first thing you're going to want to do is give a compass bearing, which is 1 to 360, and then give out a cardinal direction, right? Do not ever give just a compass bearing over SquadNet. It is entirely useless. Because if I walk 30 meters in one direction, that compass bearing it becomes almost entirely irrelevant. So compass bearings are incredibly useful for local communication, where guys are right next to you, and that compass bearing is probably very similar to your compass bearing is probably very similar to theirs, but it is almost entirely irrelevant to squads that are broken up along, 300, 200 meters out, or a squad who's broken up into 2 separate fire teams who are in different locations. So if you're going to give a compass bearing, always give a cardinal direction of north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, southwest, etc. Does that answer your question?
Sort of. No, I think what I was referring to is kind of piggybacking on that. Is that wouldn't map coordinate callouts be more useful in terms of relative?
They would absolutely be more useful if you are able to give a quick and accurate map grid faster than you're able to give a bearing and cardinal direction, which almost no one is in. If you are able to give a contact report in cardinal direction and map grid in the normal 3D way, and then you're able to give a map grid, that is ace. That is the best way you could possibly do it.
Got it.
Okay.
And when you do map grid, do you do the north-south first and then the map grid?
Yeah. You want to give the fastest contact report you can. If you have a contact report, if you see enemies, you need to give that information to your squad the fastest you possibly. And if you can't remember the 3Ds or the order, then damn them, right? You need to let your squad know that there's enemy out there and what is going on. Okay. But map grid is last because it takes a second, right? It's slower. It takes you a while to get kind of oriented and figure out what's going on.
Right. So after a call out, if you're able to take cover and open up your map, then you can add
exactly. Absolutely.
So if you do compass and then you do distance, or the map grid will kind of cover that, right? But you would do compass, distance, description, and then the map grid maybe after all that?
Yes. If you are able to get a map grid after you call out your normal contact report, by every means necessary, by all, your squad leadership will absolutely appreciate that, because he can then relay it to command, and command can filter it down to the other squad leads. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of your squad go ahead and grab a grenadier. He's going to get some GL smokes. And each of you guys are going to individually, through each squad, you're going to call out some contact reports for your squad leader in local comms.
Could I add something really fast?
ABCs, give me one second. Using the ABCs and the 3Ds. Accurate, brief, and clear, and direction, distance, and distance. Did you have one more question before we get started?
Yeah, just a note about keeping local comms clean when you're on lodges with your squad lead. Just because it has the same sort of interference.
Yes. Yes, and your squad lead will generally tell you to shut up if it's necessary. But hopefully you guys will be wise enough to know when to. All right, I'm gonna let your squad leads figure this out.
Okay, let's do contact reports. We'll start at this end of the line, Carter. Contact report on the blue. In your own time and local.
Yeah. My keys is messed up.
You okay?
There we go. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Contact bearing 102 east. Blue smoke in the building. Approximately 50 meters.
There we go. 50 meters? Okay. I In terms of distance, if you don't know the distance, guys, it's very important to keep that A in the ABC. If you don't know the distance, call it as close, i.e. within 50 meters. If it's between 50 and 200, like accurate rifle fire range, call it as medium, and anything beyond that is far, okay? King Gen.
Contact close. 84 degrees east.
What are you missing?
Blue smoke. In front of the
There
sandbags.
we go. Good stuff. Remember, try and get the direction out first, then the distance, okay? If you go down after the first, say you get shot in the head and you've only been able to give out one thing, make sure it's direction, okay? Direction's super important. We can just turn around and say northeast, okay? And then he didn't get the rest out, so somebody shot at him. We know we need to be looking northeast, okay? Red smoke. Bush.
Contact. East 105. Close. Red smoke.
Yeah, good. Call out things like what it's close to as well. That's a good description thing you can use. Don't worry about being too brief. Make sure it's accurate. Next in line.
Is it my turn? All right.
Yeah.
Contact. Southeast 120. Red smoke in the building. Medium.
Good stuff. Let's try one a little bit closer. Raga. Blue smoke. It's very small in fairness. Sorry, I didn't realize it was going to take that long.
Contact southeast 149. Blue smoke. Close.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, guys, try and get the order right. Direction, then distance, then description, but broadly, that's a pretty good one. Next. Okay, it's a while away. Okay, can you see it? You can jump up on these,
contact east 89, white smoke, behind the barricade.
Good stuff. Cantrip.
It'll be contact east by southeast at 113, about 30 meters out, white smoke.
Good stuff. And the left man, red. Demon.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry. This isn't working. I'll have to do a different basic. My computer's messed up.
Do you want to message Bump and just go through that with him, see if you can troubleshoot it for you?
It's definitely something on my end. Give me 1 second, maybe I can get it. Okay, I'm good.
Alright, cool. Cool contact report on me.
Contact infantry close, northeast.
Okay, remember, good contact report, wrong order. Make sure you do it direction first, then distance, then description, okay?
Right.
It's super important people do direction first. Direction is, if I turn around and say I am actually an enemy and I shoot you in the head, all I know is it's infantry. Well, that doesn't really fucking help anybody, because we're playing against 30 guys, right? Then most of them are going to be infantry. Call out that direction. That way, if you go down before you get the whole thing out, you're going to have guns online. Everyone's going to know, okay, well, we've got to look northeast because that's where he called it. Then distance, so we know if we're looking at the tree, the horizon or our feet. And then description.
All right, awesome. So a couple of important things is, actually the absolute most important thing, if you see a contact and you do not remember the direction, distance, description order, do not hold that information back. You have no idea the amount of people I've seen in operations who have seen a contact and they get flustered and they don't want to sound, so they just don't say anything. Do not do that. You won't sound dumb. It's totally fine. Call the information. The most critical part of calling a contact is calling it in the first place. Okay? I never ever want to see any of you guys see a contact and not call it out because you're scared of sounding dumb over comms. You will not sound dumb. You're totally fine. Okay? But just remember, direction, distance, description is best in that order. Okay? It's best to have all of them. If you can't remember one, or if you can't determine one, I saw a couple squad leads, and I should have noted this anyway. If you cannot guesstimate the distance, go ahead and just say close, near, or far. Okay? Close, medium range, far, totally fine. If you go to Jensen's range, you can kind of get a better read on things, and just the more you play, you'll be able to give a better read on distance over kind of in-game term. But it's totally fine. You don't have to call 241 meters out. You can just say medium or far range. Okay. Another thing to note is if you are not in the game at the moment and you did not go through that, then it will have to be another basic for you. This is the hard cutoff. Okay. If you are having mod issues or you've been talking to Bump and have been having issues, and still haven't been able to get into the server, we just went through our first prac app. And it will have to be another basic for you. So this is a hard cutoff point. Alright. So, another important thing about communication, and just general concept anyway, is how to react to contact. What do you do when you get... Well, the first thing you do is return fire, right? That creates a kind of an equal scenario to your enemy that you're getting pounded with right there, which is being shot at. Right? Nobody wants to be shot and killed in a one-life operation because it is a one-life operation. This is not a public server. People are going to be a little more conservative with their lives. So when they get shot at, it would be in their best interest, and it is in their best interest to take cover. So suppressing fire is a lot more useful. So the first thing you do when you get shot at is you return fire. You shoot back, right? In the general direction. If you don't know the general direction, then just go to the next step, which is take cover. Right? Your life is important, because you only got one in operations. There are no revives. There are medics that can heal you, but as long as you are still alive, right, there are no revives. So take cover. You want to survive. Next thing you're going to do is give out a contact report. Let your team know where you took contact from. If you don't know the absolute every part of it, just give them direction first, general direction, and then general distance, general description of what you're getting shot at. You need to let your squad know, let your FTL know, and then you need to get online, face the contact, and return fire. Right? You need to orient yourself to that contact because you don't want to be shooting your ass, and you need to return fire or await orders. It depends on what your SL has told you before. This is kind of a shifting, moving water system. So depending on what your SL has said before, let's say you're a sneaking squad. Sorry about that. Let's say you're a sneaking squad, and your SL is giving you strict orders to not return fire unless ordered to. Then obviously you would listen to you. But the general rule of thumb is if you're getting shot at, shoot back. Right? Give them back. Okay. Another giant thing. This is possibly this is one of the most critical things. If your squad lead or FTL gives you an order, tells you to do something, let them know. Give them a response. Tell them, Roger, copy that, understood, on my way, something like that. Just they need verbal feedback because your squad lead, like I said, has 3 lines of communication in his one ear at the same time. So if he gives an order over SquadNet and hears absolute direct silence back, crickets, he's going to think, what the hell is going on? Did they not hear it? Are they not going to follow through? Do I need to say it 50 more times? Is this person slow? Just tell if you get an order or get a question, answer back, right? Do not be silent about it. Even if you hear them and you say mentally in your head, okay, all right, I'll do that. You need to verbally say that too because your squad lead needs to know. Okay. So you can either say, you know, affirmative, negative, copy, roger, Wilco. You don't have to be super technical about it. You can say roger that, boss, or understood, chief. It doesn't, as long as your squad leader gets an actual, you know, response back verbally. That's all I need. Okay. Any questions about communication whatsoever? Anything we want?
Actually, yeah. I noticed. I heard people get mad when you just say "I'm over here" or something like that. Do you say your name and then you say something?
That
like
is that's a giant problem. So the only reason you would say "over here" is in local comms. On me doesn't mean jack shit in squad comms. On me or over here or on my location doesn't mean anything in SquadNet. Your squad leader is not going to be looking at the far left corner of his screen and looking at whoever's name popped up. And no, you either need to give some kind of grid, or you need to give some kind of terrain. Maybe you're next to a giant rock in the terrain. Some kind of indicator of where you are in relation to somewhere else the squad leader can easily pick up on, or your team can easily pick up on. Never ever say "on me" unless it's in local comms to your buddy.
And so the 3D should just cover that, right?
More or less. Any more questions? Okay. Next up is basic infantry concepts. These are pretty basic, but the first thing you need to know is fire. This is kind of big because a lot of times in operations you have the Rambo. One guy generally just doesn't quite understand how to temper his fire and save his magazines, so he just goes fully automatic with his M4 and hits absolutely nothing and wastes a bunch of bullets and then runs out of ammo really very quickly and becomes completely useless to a team. So we got a couple of fire rates that we actually realistically use in operations, which are single rate of fire, which is accurate, low volume. It's intended to actually eliminate single targets. This is generally used when you're not being critically, you know, shot at by a bunch of guys, when you have time to line up sights, and actually you have time to take out guys from either a distance, or maybe you're just not getting shot at all and they're close to medium range. Single accurate fire. And then you have high volume of fire. This is less accurate. This is higher volume. This is used to stop people from peeking, or, you know, corners or windows or rocks or wherever, and have friendlies, you know, move forward or flank on them, or you know, do whatever tactically. It's meant to keep enemies' heads down. It's essentially covering fire. We do not have a rate of fire that's fully automatic. This is not a Stallone movie. You do not want to waste your ammo like that unless you are, even if you're an automatic rifle, you want to temper your fire out and not go full auto. So I'm gonna go ahead and have Blackbeard. What he's gonna do, because since he's the middle SL, he's just gonna fire down range, single accurate fire, and you guys can just listen. Alright, ceasefire. Alright, Blackbeard was you know, that single accurate fire. He was picking these targets. It was real slow. Also, single accurate fire can just be like this. I'm gonna give you. It can be slightly faster, just like that. But it's not. That's not intent for covering, right? You are not covering anyone. Shoot. Generally speaking, right? That is accurate fire, and so I can actually hit the targets, and my sight isn't going all over the place. The other fire rate is high volume of fire, right? This is meant to keep enemies' heads down. This is meant to cover your team as they move up or back. I'm gonna go ahead and have Blackbeard demonstrate the same thing. A high volume of fire. Alright, ceasefire. Alright. He could have even shot faster than that, and that would have been totally okay. What I never want to see in an operation, what no one ever wants to see in an operation, That is useless unless you are clearing a building or a guy is 15 feet away. Okay? You are not going to hit jack with that. You are going to run out of ammo incredibly quickly, and unless you have like 20 other guys to your left and right that can keep up that fire, you are going to be useless. Right? Your mag is going to go black almost instantly. You are not going to be able to cover for more than 2 or 3 seconds. Alright? Magazines go incredibly quickly. And even if you are on an automatic rifleman kit, with a lot of rounds in a box magazine, you're not going to be wanting to dump all of them in full auto and a continuous string of fire almost ever. So another thing to note is 2 fire commands. These are incredibly basic, and hopefully you guys already know because you've seen a Hollywood movie, but in case you don't, they are open fire and cease fire. So open fire means start firing, right? Pretty simple. Cease fire means stop firing. You might hear some other ones like check fire. Your squad leader might say, hey, check fire, or someone might say check fire. That means you might be firing at the wrong targets, or you need to shift your fire over, left or right because you're not hitting the right target, or you're hitting absolutely nothing at all. So open fire and cease fire are the main ones. You might hear some other ones. If you need any clarification, please ask. Please ask in the game. Another thing to note is cover versus concealment, right? So you see all these nice little pretty sandbags downrange? These are both cover and concealment, depending on what I'm being shot at with. So if I'm being shot at with a small arms caliber, which is generally referred to as any rifle in the entire game, any AK, any AR, any an FAL, a G3, doesn't matter. Any basic infantry rifle is not going to pierce a sandbag. Is not going to pierce these sandbags. So in that, if I were getting shot at by those weapons and I were behind a sandbag, it would be cover, right? Because I'm safe. But if I were being shot at with, let's say, a BTR that has a 30 mil cannon on it, that sandbag would be basically gone in a second, and I would be also paced. So that would just be concealment, right? It always depends on what you're being shot at with. Another example is a bush. A bush is concealment, right? You can hide in a bush, but bullets are going to pierce it, right? So it all depends on what you're being shot at with. By the way, grenade launchers will, or RPGs will blow up sandbags, and that cover will not be covered in. So it all depends on what you're being shot at with. Some calibers will also pierce thin or slightly, medium thick mud walls. I'm not going to go over all caliber piercing qualities in the entire game of Squad. Right? Just realize if you're getting shot by a slightly higher caliber bullet that might be on a mounted gun, it might go through your cover, and you need to pay more attention to what you're behind if you're getting shot at. So consistent fire, this is a big gigantic one, and I'm gonna go ahead and have Blackbeard and yeah, Blackbeard and I. So Blackbeard, come over here south, just south of you. So what we're gonna do is we are going to demonstrate consistent fire. You guys don't need to actually see this, but you do need to. And we're going to call that over local. Actually, I'm going to have all you guys filter in to the center. So all you guys come to me right now. Every squad. So you guys are pretty close. And you guys can just go ahead and kind of filter in on a line and look downrange, look east. Yeah. Just go back there on the go back there on the line. Okay.
Stay on the road.
Just as long as you guys can actually see us, we're going to call out in Discord. But consistent fire is basically, to put it extremely simply, is if you are in a buddy team like me and Blackbeard or Blackbeard and I, we do not want to be reloading at the exact same time, because that means we're open to being shot and killed, right? If you're both black on ammo at the same time, that is a really good time for the enemy to get a good, accurate shot on you and shoot you in the head or somewhere on the body that's critical. We have a lot of good shots in operations, and they will take that opportunity in an absolute heartbeat, and you will be dead, and your one life will be gone. So, basically, consistent fire is ensuring your fire superiority is maintained through the use of suppression in the direction of the enemy you are shooting at, even when you're negative visual on enemy, right? So even if you don't actually see the enemy's body, but they're behind cover, or they're in that general direction, it's called covering fire or suppression. Make sure that reloads are offset organically. You can do this two methods. You can either use different fire rates, right? One person could be firing at a higher rate of fire than the other person, so the person with the faster fire rate reloads faster organically, or you could do a tactical reload, which is basically just reloading before you're all out of ammo for that magazine. All right, so me and Blackbeard and I are going to go ahead and fire down range, and kind of give you guys a heads up. All right, contact east, 100 meters, up in the window. Enemy infantry. Reloading. Gun up.
Reloading. Gun up.
Reloading. Gun up. Okay, ceasefire. Alright, so you notice we kept a lot of fire, just the two of us, just two guys. But we kept a lot of fire on that target, and we could have sustained that entirely until we were all out of ammunition. We could have done that with just two guys until we were entirely black on ammo. That is consistent fire. The guys in those windows would probably not be peeking, and if they did peek, they would be dead, right? And if we had a friendly element trying to move on that building, they would be able to probably pretty safely move on that building with just two guys covering, right? That is consistent fire. That is why it's so important. Consistent fire can be done with either a buddy team, with just two guys like Blackbeard and I, or an entire fire team like 4 guys, or an entire squad, right? It's obviously, it's pretty obvious that the less people you have, the more critical communication with reloading is, because with just 2 guys, we only have 2 magazines. With 4 guys, you're probably going to organically, without really communicating a whole lot, be able to not have everyone reload at the same time, but it's still critical to pay attention to that.
Question.
Yep.
So, what if you're scarce on ammo? Would it be enough to keep an eye on the window?
You need to always pay attention to your ammo count. If you are all orange on every one of your magazines, or red, you're going to want to call that out. You're going to want to let your squad know if they're putting you in a position where you have to cover them. It's all about communication in every facet. So if you're almost out of ammo and you're not comfortable with covering, you either need to temper your fire rate. If you're the only, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Or you need to let your squad know that you're almost black on ammo and someone else should probably cover. Sometimes you're not in always the best position, and you'll have to make. Is that answer your question?
Kind of. What I meant was, what if you are scarce on ammo and you could do the supporting fire you just did, but to just save ammo more in general, would it be enough to cover the window by just having an eye on it? Like,
no, just having an eyeball on it is not covering, right?
Well, so not an eyeball. I meant like aiming down sight.
Yep, that's not covering fire.
Okay.
So if you're in a position where you need to cover your team and the enemy knows where you are, and you need to keep their heads down, you need to be shooting bullets. An eyeball with just looking at their thing is not going to be enough. Hopefully, in that situation, if you are able to, be in that situation, which you probably will, you'll have guys besides you who will be more endowed with ammo that can help you out. Any further questions?
Yeah, when you are doing the buddy system, shooting down, how do you know how to pick a rhythm? Like, you guys both have, 30 rounds in the magazine. You guys are both shooting at it. You kind of just find that rhythm.
It's just kind of organic. I mean, you can literally tell your buddy, hey, I'm going to shoot faster than you are. You go ahead and shoot slower, or you can go ahead and you can just take charge and say, hey, you can just reload right before in the middle of your magazine, and just kind of make it your decision.
It's just, okay, so it's more important to, like, say I'm reloading and stuff like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If you're reloading, you need to let your buddy, because then he needs to pick up his fire to compensate. Any further questions?
Would it be okay if one person suppresses and then once he has to reload, the other guy suppresses?
The best thing to do is have more bullets on target to keep hit. We have, like I said, we got a lot of good shooters and operations, and if you give them an inch, they will take your head. And your buddy's head, and your entire fire team's head. The more bullets downrange, the better. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. Any further questions? One more. Okay, cool. This is perfect, because what I'm going to ask you guys to do, and what we're moving into next, is move. So what we're going to do is we're going to form a line. So basically, this is going to be kind of like an ant line, right? You guys are going to be kind of doing what you're doing now, just a little more spaced out north to south. And make sure to get online. It means one after the other, like ants. Like ants.
North to south?
Guys, if you don't like the
And your
spacing,
squad
the guy
leads
next to you,
will
you keep
facilitate
pushing it out.
that.
Keep pushing it out.
Yes, you guys need to keep pushing out. Keep pushing south, north. The guys in the center cannot do anything but yell at you, which hopefully
Center, you can push,
they will.
Push south as well. Don't all go north. Keep pushing it out. Let's go. Let's go. If you don't like the spacing between you and the next man,
I want you guys to get your estimate of comfortable battle spacing. I want you guys to shore up those gigantic.
okay, there's good gap, there's spacing, and then there's gaps in the line. Okay, let's try and help. Push it back down south, guys. Down south. Cantrip, turn around, look behind you. There we go. There we
Don't
go
too far north, guys, or else you're gonna be running into my squad.
Yeah, that's good. Guys, try orientate south. Who's my last man?
Demon, head a little bit further south.
We have a sufficient gap.
Okay. Alright, that's good.
Alright.
And then Fred, come to this rock right here.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. No one else move. No one else move. Okay. Give me 1 second. Alright. So my squad leads, nobody move. My squad leads are about to demonstrate some issues that they find. If they find.
You're gonna throw a nade.
Nobody move! Alright. Don't respawn. We'll get you up. Alright.
Spacing.
All squad leads are going to pick you guys up and get you healed up. Don't bother Okay. So we've noted some things. So a couple of squad leads got more than one. Nice job, squad leads. For the guys in the formation, your goal is to have enough spacing between the other guys in the formation that one grenade or one explosive in general in squad will not kill you both. Right? This is called good battle spacing. Right? And you should be keeping this generally all the time. Good battle spacing is critical to almost anything, formations or breaching a building or just being around your squad in general. You always need to keep in mind, hey, what happens if the enemy is somewhere and they have a grenade launcher or an anti-personnel rocket launcher, RPG-7, or just a good grenade? What happens if they land one on us? Will we all die? And in some operations, we have seen almost entire squads go down because of one good grenade in very poor battle spacing. Battle spacing is absolutely critical at every key. You do not want to be on stream or generally just be in a one-life operation and your squad gets entirely wiped by one good explosive because you guys were all packed around a rock or a building corner, or you guys were just kind of tactical blobbed up with no battle spacing whatsoever. Okay. So with that in mind, I want everyone to go ahead and face east. That is downrange. Face east. Face the eastern direction. If you're facing west, it is your other east. Okay. This is called a line. Right? I know it kind of. This is just the formation, the terminology we use, but this is a line. Okay, so if you guys were to sweep east, if you guys were to start walking east, but don't walk, but generally in an operation, sometimes this formation is used just to cover a lot of ground and have guys sweep large swaths of area, kind of like the search pattern formation. So this is also super useful if you had contact facing east in the direction you're going. You would all be able to deliver maximum firepower to the eastern direction, right? If you guys were to see an enemy east, you guys would all be able to shoot at them with not having to worry about friendly fire almost whatsoever. It's incredibly useful for delivering maximum firepower to frontal contact, and generally every formation should develop into kind of a line formation if you do encounter contact. All right. What I want you guys to do right now is turn north. Everyone face north. If you are not facing north, it is your other north. Alright, this is called a file. This is super useful for getting a bunch of guys in one direction very quickly, right? If you were to, because you can walk right behind their footsteps, right? If you guys were to go east in that line in the line formation, you guys would have buildings you'd have to filter around, and eventually your formation would kind of get broken up and kind of jacked up, and you guys would get spread out, which it's difficult to keep intact. With this formation, with a file formation, if you guys were moving north, you would able to just take one step right behind the other, follow the guy right in front of you, around obstacles or whatever, and you would get there faster. You would get there much faster. This is an extremely natural formation. Ants, you see ants use this formation because it's the most natural formation, right? It's almost mindless, right? The problem with this is while it's fast, it's also terrible in other things. Like if you were going north right now and you took contact from the way you were going, which is north, and the guy in the center, anyone besides the person who's absolutely in the front of the line wanted to engage that contact, well, you'd have some problems. You'd probably be shooting each other in the head. You'd have some issues with friendly fire or having to watch out for friendly fire. People would start scattering in either direction, and friendlies would start scattering in any direction. You'd have trouble engaging that contact to your north or south, even behind you, without shooting friendlies. Right, so useful for being fast, extremely not useful for engaging contact to the front or rear. Okay, what I want you guys to do, and I'm gonna actually have Squad 1 start this thing, but when your name is called, I want you to move west, 15 to 20 meters. When your name is called, I want you to move west to 15 to 20 meters. And Sebi is going to go ahead and start that.
Alright. Bushdoki, move.
When your name is called, move west 15, 20 meters.
Card up, push it out. Cantrip stay. Marks the move.
King, move back. Move back east, Kingpin, or Kingin, move back east. East, there you go.
Guys, look at your maps, have a look at what the formation looks like. Open up your map, have a look what the formation looks like.
Alright, that looks okay. So if you guys open your map right now, you will notice you have formed a new formation. This is called a staggered column. This is pretty damn useful, right? And in general, if you are moving in a direction with your squad, you should try your best and naturally form into a staggered column formation. It doesn't have to be pretty, and most of the time it will not be pretty at all. But as long as your spacing is good and you're keeping up with the rest of your squad and you are in a staggered formation, you can both have the benefits of a line and a file. You can move to frontal contact faster, and you can also engage frontal contact or contact in a 360 direction with less opportunity for friendly fire. So another thing to note is in a stagger column, if you ever are told to halt, or generally if you're moving in one direction anyway, you're going to want to cover your sector. So each person in the column has a sector. Some guys will have the same sectors, but it's pretty natural. So the front of the column just looks frontwards, right? That's your sector. The rear of the column looks rearwards. That's your sector. And the sides look to their sides. So the guys on the east side are going to be covering their east side. The guys on the west side are going to be covering their west side, and the guys who are immediately north, who are at the start of the column, are going to be covering north. The guys in the immediate south, the rear of the column, are going to be covering south. So everyone turn and cover your sector. And just keep staying there. Let me look on the map.
Call vectors out, guys.
If you're on the east side, your sector is east. The general eastern direction.
Call those sectors, guys. What are you
If you're
looking
on
at?
the west side, your sector is west.
Hello, squad.
Oh, you want us to call which way we're looking?
Yeah, you
Alright,
could.
that looks pretty good. You guys can open up your map right now. You'll see that everyone's facing and covering their... Right, so no one's going to be able to sneak up on this this formation. You guys are all watching every which way, which is super good. Generally speaking, this formation will be a moving formation, so you'll be going to probably, let's say north. You'll be moving north. It is still your responsibility to keep an eye out in your sector. So the guys at the rear have the troubling and difficult job of turning around every now and then and just kind of keeping an eye out. Right? Is their job to just keep an eye out. The guys on the sides have an easier duty of just kind of looking to the side. The guys in the front have the easiest duty of looking to the front, but also they're going to be the first ones to get shot at if they hit contact. So everyone's got to roll. It's called also 360 degree security in a formation. Okay. One sec, guys. All right. So I want everyone to go ahead and come over to K9 and send in this little bounding range area over to the south, and everyone go ahead and line up on the east side of this bounding range, just so you can see the range behind the sand, if you will. You guys don't have to be pretty, just make sure you guys can all see the left to right movement of this range without any obstructions in your view. We'll wait for the guys who are on the far north to get over. Alright. Another critical part of movement is bounding. This is possibly the most critical, right? If you want to move, you're going to probably, if you want to move into fire, into enemy contact, you're going to want guys to be covering you, right? This is called bound. We can bound by buddy team, we can bound by fire team, we can bound by squad. It doesn't matter. Any element size, it works. But bounding is basically, just to put it in absolute dictionary terms, a movement tactic that allows pressure to be applied to the enemy while maintaining directional momentum, or while maintaining moving forward or backward. You can bound backwards and forwards. It doesn't. So, like I said, bounding can be done in any element size. There's two kinds of bounding: bounding to, or bounding past. I'm going to go ahead and, just for simplicity's sake, not ever use bounding to. Bounding is when you just bound to your friendly. Let's just forget about that. Bounding that we're going to demonstrate is leapfrogging, right? You ever see frogs kind of jump one over the other and move in a direction? Kind of one jumps, and then the other jumps past that frog, and then the other jumps past that frog that jumped. You understand? So we're going to demonstrate this in a more visual manner. But this is leapfrog bounding, right? When you're bounding, you want to keep making movement, right? Your entire goal is to move forward, is to cover as much ground as you can, as safely as you can. So K9, or actually Blackbeard, are going to demonstrate bounding south with contacts to the south. We're going to be talking over Discord, communicating our reloads. Give you guys an understanding what's going on. So give us 1 sec, guys.
Contact south.
Bounding. Set.
Bounding. Set.
Reloading. Bounding. Set.
Reloading. Set.
Bounding. Clear. Alright. So that is bounding forward. You guys noticed I ran out of ammo there on that last bound, and I switched to my pistol. Generally, you won't do this unless you're breaching a house. But it is absolutely critical to make sure that you are not reloading while you're bounding. Let me give you an example of why you don't do this. Let's say I'm going to shoot. Bang. Up. Now I'm bounding. You see how slow I am? This is a good way to get, right? Compared to this, sprinting, to basically just walking. You cannot sprint while you reload. Do not reload while you're... Okay? You will go very slow. Another thing to note is I'm not bounding like this. This is not bounding. This is crawling. Okay? My main goal is to get as much movement as I can, as much cover as much ground as I can in the short time that I am being covered by my friendly teammate. Okay? Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a quick example, a very quick example of bounding back. You can bound forwards and backs, or forward and back. If you were bounding forward, you're probably going to assault the compound. If you were bounding backwards, you're probably getting overwhelmed. And you want to fall back, and you want to fall back safely without all being shot in the back. So whenever Blackbeard wants to cover me, I'm going to bound back. Show you guys that.
Covering.
Bounding. Set.
Bounding. Set.
Bounding. Set.
Bounding. Set.
Reload. Alright, ceasefire, ceasefire. Okay, so like I said, you can bound forward and back. In both those cases, we were applying pressure to the enemies that we saw, bounding forward and back, and we were communicating effectively, right? But right now, I am very low on ammo. Sometimes you're not going to have enough ammo to put out a high volume of fire. So what I did on that bound backwards was I tempered my rounds and went kind of like this, you know, because it's just a buddy team. Wasn't shooting a whole lot. Always keep an eye on your ammo count, because you are no use covering anyone if you were at it. You are also no use covering anyone if your ammo is not being used to go down range and shoot at enemy people or keep their heads down. Okay. Any questions on that at all? None? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and, since y'all don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and you guys are going to go back to your squad areas with your squad leads, and you are going to do a non-live fire. So with shovels out, you're going to do a non-live fire practical drill of bounding by fire team. You guys are going to bound by fire, down range a little bit, and your squad leader is going to facilitate that.
Okay, Bravo on my left, Charlie on my right. How many of you are sitting in a room with somebody else? Not in gaming, like you guys are sat at a computer playing the game of Squad. How many of you are playing that game of Squad with someone else in that room? Do you guys talk? Hello? Bonjour?
I'm not.
Yeah, we're very professional.
Right, here we go. So, what we're going to learn, what we're going to do here is we're going to make pew-pew noises with our mouths and pretend like we're 9 years old. So, Bravo, if you set up to the firing line on my right, and Charlie set up on my left, and we will cover the concept of bounding by fire team. Oh, well, within here, just up on the HESCOs. Yeah, proximity. Fire team leads. Okay, before we get started, just don't stand on these. Just stay behind. I'll tell you when to move over. All right, we're gonna let them.
To interrupt the squad leads really quickly, when each of the fire team leaders is the fire team leader's responsibility to be shouting bounding and set. That is their call, and they should be doing that over squad net, squad comms. So just to reiterate, you can call reloading in local comms, but the fire team leaders need to be calling bounding and set in squad. Okay, I'll give it back to your squad leaders.
Alright, that's literally what I was about to say. So, important thing is the fire team leads. All the riflemen will call your set and your sets when you are set. Fire team lead, you need to look around, make sure your entire fire team is set before you call the bound, and you're going to call the bound in squad. Okay, squad comms. You're going to call in local. You're going to call individual riflemen. They're going to call set. So I'm going to walk you through the first 2 bounds, and then we're going to bound all the way to that the red barrel building at the back. Okay. Right. So
Yes,
Charlie, if you could start putting firing, and then Bravo, you're going to move. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are we missing someone from Charlie?
Yeah, he DC'd,
Bushido.
so... Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, come over here.
Yeah, can I get Charlie on my left and Bravo on my right?
Hey, how do you see if you're Charlie or in Bravo?
You guys are good over there.
Orange are Bravo, and purple are Charlie. Okay, Charlie, you're going to cover. Bravo, you're going to bound, okay? Charlie, open fire, stand up on the firing line, and start firing down that way.
Battle spacing is critical. I do not want to see more than 1 or 2 people on the same sand.
Bushy, get up on this line. There we go. Follow the leader.
Plenty of sandbags.
Pew 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 pew.
All right, Bravo, you need
Come
to
up
be
on the
moving.
sand
Let's
by
go.
the H barrier. Pew pew pew.
Bounding.
Pew pew bang pew. Skip up up. Bang
Pew
bang
pew
bang
pew pew.
Bang bang
Bang.
pew bang.
Pew pew.
Pow.
Bang pow.
Set.
Pow pow bang.
Click click.
Okay,
Bang.
Charlie, let's move. He's called the set.
Moving.
Bushy, you've got to be moving
Come on,
with the
Bushido.
rest of your fire team.
Early set.
Okay, Bravo, let's go.
Bravo, bound.
Bang bang pew bang pow bang.
Bang bang.
Skip up up bang pow.
Bang bang
Skip up,
bang.
up. Bang pow.
Pew
Skip
pew
up,
pew.
Bang.
Skibbity pop pop.
Bang.
Set.
Charlie's moving.
Don't roadie run, stand up and sprint. Bushy, you've got to keep moving.
Come on, Bushido.
Charlie set.
Bang 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 pow. Skip up up.
Bravo, bound.
Pow.
Bang
Pow
bang.
pow bang bang bang. Click click bang. Pow pow pow.
Pow
Skip
pow
up up
pow.
Pow pow. Bang bang. Skip up up bang.
Pew 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 pew.
Bravo, set.
Charlie's moving.
Alright, ceasefire. Okay, so, FTLs, you're doing really well. We're going to start bounding backwards, but good job calling everything out. Usually I have to prompt people, but you're doing well. This is good. Charlie fire team, guys, you need to be bounding past, okay? You can't just be hanging behind Bravo. Everybody needs to be ahead. That means you, Bushy, okay? Now, Charlie, you're going to start bounding backwards. Bravo, you're going to be the covering element, and then we're going to make our way back to the starting line, okay? Bravo, start firing.
Charlie's moving. Bound backwards, Charlie.
Set.
Charlie's set.
Pew pew bang. Pow. Skip up
Bravo.
pow bang.
Go.
Bang bang bang.
Pew
Skip up,
pew.
pow bang.
Skibbity
Bang
pop.
bang.
Pop
Skip up
pop.
bang. Pow pow.
Pew 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 pew.
Oh shit.
Click.
Bang bang.
Bravo, set.
Pow.
Charlie moving. Charlie set.
Pew pew.
Bravo bound.
Bang. Pop bang. Bang 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 bang. Skip up up.
Pew pew.
Bang bang bang. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. Bang bang.
Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat.
Bravo set. Charlie moving.
Okay, last one, Bravo.
Charlie set.
Pew 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 pew. Bang 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 bang. Skip up up.
Bravo bound.
Pew pew pew. Pow pow. Pow 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 pow.
Okay, cool. Ceasefire. Right, so that was really good actually. I will go out on a limb and say that is the best FTLing I have seen from a first-time FTL in basic ever. So well done to your fire team leads. That was actually really well done. Fire teams, you need to pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing when you're bounding. Generally speaking, people got it, but I do not want to see people lollygagging at the back, okay? You move with your fire team. I don't want people roadie running, I don't want people crawling, I don't want people walking. I want people sprinting to the sandbags, getting online and shooting. Okay, does anyone have any questions or problems with those concepts?
Negative.
Good stuff. So when we do this for real, you guys are you're gonna be the hot shit here. You're gonna be the best squad, and I can turn around to Sinful and say, I had the best dudes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good shit. Alright, cool.
Yes, want an answer?
Yeah, I want answers. I want to talk to you guys, okay? I'm not that much of an asshole. Like, it's gonna be great.
Yes, Chief.
Well, your name is Mike Beard.
Hurrah!
Chief was a rude pirate.
I'm a legend, dude.
Do you put freaking like burning fuses in your little strap?
Nah, but I can lat through.
Alright.
Oh, Jesus.
Your guys have given, or your squad leads have given you a quick heads up of what you did well and what you might have not have done well. It's okay. It was looking alright. Remember, the main goal of bounding is to cover as much distance as possible without getting shot. So the more distance you can cover, the better. The absolute better. This next drill is going to be a practical drill. It's going to be live fire. Okay? There are going to be people shooting at you. It is okay to shoot back to kill. You are not going to get in trouble. If you guys are shooting at you, shoot them back. Try to keep the friendly fire to an absolute minimum, to 0. Watch your guys. Fire team leaders communicate in squad chat, in bounding, and set. The rest of you guys call reload. Each of you will have specific instructions from your squad leader. Okay? Any questions on the non-live fire drill? Any confusion on what you guys just did before we start the last practical? Any at all? Please go ahead and ask over Discord.
I have a question. Should we say our names when we reload?
No, that's fine. Just in local, they'll know someone around them is reloading, so they keep up the fire.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, give me 1 sec, guys. We'll figure this stuff out. We'll get you rolling.
Make sure to keep up this time, Bushido.
Let's keep this formation close
Click on.
and tight.
Clear comms, clear comms.
Clear comms. Okay guys, about that, we just got a command in my ear. So everyone see that very foreboding, sandbagged up, armored building? That's what we're going to be assaulting, okay? There is a radio in there, we need you to dig it down, okay? I want to see bounding all the way there, I want to see effective fire, and I don't want any lollygagging at the back. I will be shouting at you if FTLs aren't doing their job, okay?
Yes, sir.
Copy.
Question.
We'll be doing breaching and clear, sir.
To the best of your ability, you won't learn that in this course, but you take out anyone who's in that building. However you see fit.
Yes.
Question.
Okay, guys. So, while we were goofing off this entire time, somehow the INS team, the insurgents, have built giant bases just to our east, right under our noses. I can't believe nobody noticed this. Perhaps we should get a new shipment of binoculars in, because this is ridiculous. But we need to take these guys out. Your squad leaders will tell you what's up. You're each going to be assaulting east, taking out their spawn locations, and then holding it for further eastern contact. Whenever I call live, it's good to go. We're bounding by fire teams.
Guns out.
Live fire.
Fire teams,
Get ready.
Charlie on my right, Bravo on my left, guns out, get ready. We are going for the we're going for the base at 100, okay? 100.
Live.
Okay, guns up, let's go.
Charlie.
Bravo, move. Oh, Charlie's moving. Bravo, you cover.
Bravo. Stay. Charlie, get set. Charlie set.
Bravo, move out.
You guys die, respawn.
Building clear. Building
You guys
clear.
are good to respawn if you go down.
Charlie, cover the second floor. I'm gonna hit the radio.
Bravo, you are digging. Charlie, you. Bravo, you are digging. Charlie, you are covering. Provide security.
Copy.
Yes, sir. Founding.
Let me know when the radio's down.
Radio's almost down. It should be non-functional. I'm getting rid of it.
All right, guys, we have reports of giant reinforcements, giant contact to the. We need to have you guys start bounding back west
Bravo,
immediately.
pull back now.
We're about to be
pull back now.
overwhelmed.
Charlie, you're gonna cover.
Charlie, right there.
Make sure you guys dig their radios and then start bounding back west. You guys need to get out of there. You're gonna be overwhelmed.
Keep that fire rate up.
Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire on the field. Alright, everyone should be back. It was a nice job. You guys bounded to those objectives, bounded backwards pretty safely. Very few of you guys died. I saw no friendly fire. Someone died, I think, through razor wire, which you know that happened. You guys did a good job. One thing to note is always keep up momentum, right? Your main job is to move, right? So bounding, if the more movement you can make while you're bounding, the better. It's all about the ground you can cover while not being shot. I'm going to go ahead and let your SLs give you guys a little brief on what they saw specifically, what you guys did wrong, and what you guys did right.
Okay, so what did I like? I loved the. I thought the FTLs you did really well. Again, one thing I want you guys to remember: try not to bound through the covering element. I saw it a couple of times. I don't know if it was explicitly mentioned. I don't think it was. That might be on us. But basically, if hold on, where are you? Mark, just come here. Right. So if Mark's here. Right, you can have your gun out for this, don't worry. Just don't shoot me. And I'm here. Mark is in Charlie, and I'm in Bravo. The worst thing that I want to be doing here is turning around and walking. You see how annoying that is? Like, I'm dead now. He just shot his friend. He just shot his own team. That's bad. What you need to be doing is going from here, clearing that line of fire, and being here. Okay? And that way you can keep that fire on. All right? So just remember to do that in the ops, otherwise you're going to have friendly shooting in the back of the head, and that's going to suck. Otherwise, that was pretty good. I need people to remember to be running. You need to get from A to B as quickly as possible. This isn't a Sunday stroll, okay? Otherwise, you all did pretty well. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, you guys did well. Any questions about the course?
Yeah, you don't want to reload while running because you'll fuck it up. Like you'll walk slowly and it won't help.
Will we be able to refill on ammo?
All right, guys.
You won't need to.
Hopefully, each of your squad leads have given you a quick AAR and after-action report. Your performance. A lot of you guys did really well. All you guys did really good. All right, so this is the conclusion. So the four main sections we went over were structure of our operations, communication expectations, how you're expected to communicate, movement, general movement, basic infantry concepts, and just general soldiering. The importance of contact reports and the accuracy of the reports and quality contact reports in operations is absolutely paramount. It can swing an entire operation in your favor immediately. It only takes one good solid contact report to change entire operations. So those are absolutely critical to your squad leaders and your commanders and the overall tactical field of the view. Another thing, actually, you know what? Before I go over that, I'm gonna ask if you guys have any remaining questions of anything we went over in this, anything at all. Go ahead and ask over Discord right now. Not to your squad leaders. What do you mean? If there's more SOTT courses to learn more, or? Yep. If you have any confusion, we're going to come out with some refresher documents for basic very soon for public access. If you still feel like you gain knowledge and value from doing another basic or signing up for a sought advanced course or our CQC or leadership courses, you are more than welcome to do that. Some of them have prerequisite requirements, but don't feel like you need to go into a squad operation and be like the best there is and know everything. Okay, it's all a learning experience. We're all learning all the time. This basic is just to give you guys a quick kind of expectations and understanding of how things work, and hopefully you guys will be ready and with enough knowledge to go in an operation and do well. But we're always learning.
Don't you have a like basics on your Discord to like teach us how more or a better view by pictures and shit like that? If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Refresher docs. We're going to be coming out with those pretty soon for public access. They're being worked on. But yeah, just refresher documents you guys can view without going through an entire course. There will be a tag. We will give you a tag at the end of this.
Guys, just in the event that you actually want to ask questions, feel free. You can DM me. I don't know if you have specific questions about what's covered today. I'm more than happy to answer those.
Yes, our squad ops staff and regs. If you guys go in the Discord channels, if you got any further questions, if it seems like a dumb question to ask here, you guys are always welcome to throw it in a channel on Discord, and have it answered there. Our guys are very most all the time, and we are always willing to help out guys who just want to learn more and kind of want to help better themselves.
Are there ever private server games that aren't One Life events? They're just the normal, just with people that have gone through basic though, rather than an open server.
That's there's a hardcore mod worked on, but that's we're kind of the mod dev team and the mission dev team is always kind of working on stuff to kind of further One Life events and maybe breach out from One Life. But currently, the main meat and potatoes is our One Life events that we run. Okay. I'm going to go and ask if you guys have any further, small questions to just keep them to the end. Stick around to Discord after we're all done and we'll wrap it up for you. But I'll just give you guys a quick overview of Squad Ops culture, ethics, and expectations before you guys get into an actual operation. So at Squad Ops, the intent is to create an immersive and tactical environment and events that allow for teamwork and camaraderie to flourish. Right, there's a focus on the cinematic and fun rather than competition or egos or playing to win. It's a platform that's enjoyable for all participants. Right, maintaining a professional position allows ops to continue operating without excessive drama. All right, we're all in here to have fun. Okay, remember that whenever you are playing in an operation, you are representing the ops community. Okay, players have to be respectful and professional when you are playing in an operation. Remember that a lot of people have put a ton of work into making squad ops and just ops happen. So we should all be thankful and do our best to see that they continue. And the operations are streamed, and you never know when an eye in the sky is going to be watching you specifically. And if your behavior is less than ideal and is caught on stream or is caught by any of the squad leaders or FTLs and it's reported back to us, it could potentially influence others, and it could come back to you. So really, at the very end, we want to make sure that it's always a positive influence, that we're always putting out positive vibes and having fun. So, lastly, remember to give every operation 100%. A lot of guys, work hard to work and get them running. So we would appreciate if you guys, brought your A game. So thank you for participating in Basic. We appreciate you guys coming out. You guys may leave the server, but not the Discord channel. So go ahead and leave the server, not the Discord channel. We're going to go ahead and filter out these tags. I'm going to ask these squad leaders a question or two, and then we're going to start tagging people up. So stay in the Discord channel, please. All right, sweet. So everyone, according to the squad leaders, is basic certified or should be basic certified. Right now, we're going to give you guys a tag on Discord. If you would give us just, and we're going to also give you guys a feedback form. You guys grab that feedback form from the such.
Yeah.
Oh, Sebi did it. Sweet. Yeah, if you guys could just go up and down with that, would be sweet. I'll start tagging everybody.
Oh yeah, great
We're gonna have
questions.
to tag these guys manually.
Someone just asked a great question to me via DMs. Does this squad basic certify you for PS basic, PS ops as well? Yes, it does. You can do basic. Now you've done basic in squad, you are able to join the postscriptum ops as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Let's say, guys, we have our advanced course, teaches kind of a little more in depth on the kits and just some more content. And then you have our leadership course, which is leadership theory and then practical at the moment. And then there's some one-off courses, there's some hip pocket courses, our specialist courses, CQC, and some other ones, but they're still in kind of limbo right now. And if you guys have no further questions and you do have the tag, we are going through everyone and having to manually tag you guys. So if you guys have noticed that you've gotten your basic certified tag on Discord and you have no further questions, you're free to go. You're 100% good. You can participate in operations. Can't wait to see you. If you do not have the basic certified tag, stick around. We're going to manually tag you up. And if you have any further questions, just wait around. I'll ask you guys. Or you guys can just ask them now where we're tagging you guys up.
Yeah, well, what does the tag look like? How do we know?
So you can go ahead and go to this this voice channel and just click on your name, and it will have a little tag under. If you have one, it will have a tag in the role section.
Question.
Go for it.
Got it. I see.
Do we need the advanced Scott training if we want to do any fire support roles?
You do not need it, but they are. It might be asked from your squad lead if anyone has advanced training before they start dealing out.
All right.
Now, does that include medics?
No. Well, yeah, no. We do not teach medic. And if you volunteer for medic, I guarantee you'll get it. Everyone loves a medic.
Thanks for running this.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I think we have gotten everyone tagged up over Discord who's still in here, so you guys should be 100% good to go. If you have any further questions, please, and I'll answer to the best of my ability, and then we'll get this all wrapped up. You guys are 100% good.
Do you have a military affiliation?
Me, no. We got plenty of guys who are ex-military, and current military.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
You too, bud. Give me one sec, guys.
Do we need to
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You guys can answer that, please.
Right. So, I'm really interested to be active in squad ops. I've always wanted to be part of something like this. I have never either had the opportunity or just not known that there is one. So I'm wondering how without it taking a very long time, just being active, how you can climb up, pretty much.
Sinful, are you here?
All right, sorry about that, guys. Had a phone call. Any further questions that were unanswered?
Yeah, so Hessa was basically asking about how do you... I'm guessing you're asking about the ops tag and what that entails?
Well, not just that. In general, if you would like to be more active and hopefully participate more, and
Blackbeard, you can go ahead.
There's no limit on the ops. Like, you have basic, you can sign up for any op, unless it specifically says otherwise. Then there's occasionally regs only events or regs only ops that obviously if you don't have the ops tag you can't participate in. But you can sign up for as many as you want. If you want to do
real quick,
one a month.
Demon, I need you to explain your dilemma with these guys. I don't know how much you missed or anything like that, or whose squad you're in, but whatever.
Oh, what's
Demon.
going on?
Oh yeah, I just got disconnected twice from
When'd you
Discord.
get disconnected? Were you in the practical?
Yeah, I was. I just got
Squad was you a part
disconnected.
of?
Squad 2, which was
Blackbeard. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you hear the instruction?
Yeah. I
do
just
that.
missed a little bit at the start, and then I guess it happened again just at the end.
Blackbeard, you remember this?
I have no qualms with him getting
Okay.
tagged. It's
All
completely
good to go, man. It happened.
sorry, Hessa.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. So yeah, basically, if you want to participate in one op a month, or if you want to do the crazy shit that I do, which is get up at 3 a.m. and play every single op, you can do that. It doesn't really matter. You can do whatever. You can play as much or as little as you like, but you're set to play on any of our ops.
And if you'd like to, participate more or help out Squad Ops community, I think that there are staff applications open. To get an ops tag, generally, just to be a regular, is to just basically be a regular. Just show up to operations, be active in operations in Discord and our public server, and get noticed, and be a good guy, be respectable and responsible, and people knows your name. You'll be put up to a vote for reg. Might get the tag. Other than that, it's not, you don't put an application for.
There is actually an expression of interest in the ops tag.
Is there really now?
Yeah, but it's not. It is only an expression of interest. It's good because it means that you're going to be more high profile. But that's not like an application. That's just literally letting us know, hey, you want to do it. In terms of how long that process takes, there is no set or standard time. It could be a month, it could be 6 months, it could be whatever, It's all down to you.
So if you guys, I'll answer one more question, then I'm going to put you guys up to pre-sot, and if you're still up there, I might pop up there after we do our little AAR and go over what's up. But if you guys have no pressing questions, please ask him right now. Other than that, I'm going to move you guys up to pre-sot. You guys would be 100% good to go to sign up for operation.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Sweet. Thanks for coming out, man.
See you guys.
One more question for you.
Sure.
So the leadership practical course.
Yep.
How would that benefit? And if could I take this before participating in any operation?
You could. I mean, if you participated in our advanced and leadership theory, and then practical, yeah, you could. You could do no operations and still do all those courses if you wanted to, but you don't need to. I don't suggest that.
When is the next leadership theory?
I'm not sure if it's on the calendar yet. We'll announce it when it's good. Put on the calendar. But before you take practical, you need to take leadership.
Yeah,
it's a
the
prerequisite.
Not practical, but the
Theory. I cannot say when it's next. We might not even have it on our schedule. We'll see.
Yeah, it's
you
not
see it,
on the
Blackbeard?
schedule.
I am organizing that because I'm going to be on it with another SOT member, but I don't think we've
Okay.
announced it yet. I would say, as with everything, keep an eye on the calendar. That's the
It's just-
foolproof place to see it.
Yes, just keep an
problem
eye
I usually have is you
on the
guys
calendar.
like to do the special events, like the advanced and CQC.
You do need to speak up. I can't really hear you.
The problem I have is you guys like to do the CQC and the theory and those like more advanced ones on like the weekdays. And the only time I can ever participate in squad event stuff is Friday and Saturday.
We're always kind of judging when we should run those. It's always up to when we're available. But I'll make a note that you know, we could probably run some of those on the weekends when people are more available.
Some of the more advanced stuff as well. I think they do try to get rotated so that if they're a
we
weekday,
do try and put them on rotation. Absolutely. But if you guys have any further questions, I'm sorry, but I got to cut it right here. Move you guys up to preset. If you have pressing issues, you know, DM me. I'll answer when I can. But we got to do our AR, guys. So I'm moving you guys up. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank all you.
Thank you.